All right, I'm sure you're all familiar with chapter 9, the fifth trumpet. I tell you, this is what happens after the second cup. Now, what we're seeing here, as I told you, this is the star that's fallen a long time ago, but they're going to imitate this star in the future. So there's a spiritual and there's a physical. We're going to experience the physical as the second cup. This is going to be the trigger that causes these beings to know that it's time to appear. And it has a lot to do with vibrational field frequency that we've already talked a lot about. All right, but I haven't given you the video rundown on that, and I do plan on doing that to where we can bring all that together and you can get a better understanding. What I want you to see now is that without a doubt, the locusts are associated with the inner earth, okay? And that now we need to look at the descriptions of the locust, okay? We see that the locusts begin to have the description of scorpions, all right? And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And then once again, we're going to find out that they have a description further as scorpions again, and then serpents, okay? So that's a continually repeated description of these beings. Now, I've already showed you their historical representation. This would be one of the Danites or one of the locusts. We're going to explore this axe here and show you how it ties up quite well. Notice the locust, notice the serpent, notice the locust here, notice the serpents coming out everywhere from the bottom of the feet to the sides of the shoulder, even at the back of this axe here. Okay, so all the symbols are there. Now, what I want to do now is I want to show you a version of where these beings are hanging out. It's one of the entrances to the inner earth. This is going to be myths from Mesopotamia, creation, the flood, Gilgamesh, and others. Okay? And this is one of our depictions of one of our Anunnaki. All right? And now we're going to have a depiction of a traveler named Gilgamesh. And I want you, we're not going to be able to explain it. Let's just listen here in this video. Listen to what you hear. The name of the mountain, Mashu. When he reached the mountain Mashu, which daily guards the coming out of Shemesh, the upper parts touch the sky's foundation. Below, their breasts reach Arulu. They guard its gate, scorpion men, whose aura is frightful and whose glance is death. Their terrifying mantles of radiance drape the mountains. They guard the sun at dawn and dusk. Now, I told you, I showed you that in Judges dealing with Samson, that these beings are going to come at the close of the age. This is the symbolic representation of the dawning of the new age, okay? And then the closing of an old age. I already showed you that dawn and dusk occupy each other. They're saying that these locust men, they're the ones responsible for the guarding of the closing and starting of a new age. Gilgamesh looked at them, and fear and terror clouded his face. Here they begin to speak. A scorpion man shouted to his woman, I told you there was females. Someone has come to us. His body is in the flesh of the gods. The scorpion man's woman answered him, 2/3 of him is divine and 1/3 of him is mortal. Now they're telling you that this Gilgamesh is a demigod. As I told you, he's one of the sons of God of Genesis 6. Now what we need to do is we need to go further. And we're going to skip right here, and we're going to find out that he ends up going into this mountain. I want you to see here. These are the leagues, meaning the depths that he's traveling. The darkness was still dense. There was no light. It was impossible for him to see ahead or behind him when he achieved 5 leagues. He keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper into this darkness. I want you to see what happens. He eventually comes out into a place that has the sun. Came out in front of him of the sun. Brightness was everywhere. All kinds of thorny, prickly, spiky bushes were visible, blossoming with gemstones associated with the inner earth. Now, I don't have time to continue here. I'll try to come back.